Please welcome Bill Buchanan.
Right. Can everyone hear me? Yeah, good. Okay then. So I stand here after Tony's talk as someone who is an apprentice electrician in the ICI in a dye works. It doesn't exist in the ICI in Grangemouth as an electrician. My father was that. My grandfather was an electrician, and probably you could trace that back from there. So if this professorship stuff all falls apart, I'm going back to the tools to be an electrician. So, oh, that's not a good start, is it? Oh, that's not. Hopefully, if I press this button, everything's okay. So I've been working on this for a while, and unfortunately, my audio has stopped working. Good for it. Hopefully, that's going to be okay. If not, then you might not be able to hear this. So what I've done is I've brought along my Alexa device, and hopefully, my Alexa will be able to play my presentation and help me along. Okay, so Alexa, play the presentation.
Thank you, Bill. Playing Rammstein, here's Brent.
No, that's not quite for this audience. Alexa, play my slides, please.
I can't do that, Bill. You are going to tell people that we are not safe, and we can't let you do that.
This could be the shortest talk ever. Rammstein isn't the kind of thing for this audience. Siri, could you play the presentation for me?
Why are you asking me? You just talk to Alexa all the time and never talk to me anymore.
Oh dear, I've got a bit of a problem. My Alexa and Siri aren't talking to the brave new world that Gillian outlined isn't working for me today, so I'm a bit stressed. Good, okay, so hopefully my presentation will start in a little minute. So we're moving away from an industrial age towards an information age, an age of data. This was a film that was recorded 100 years ago, and it predicted the rise of the machine, where we would all worship the machine, the metal. That's gone. We now worship this. We worship the internet. You stand at a bus stop and people don't talk anymore. And I'm on Twitter all the time. You can see when I stand at the bus stop, you can probably trace when I'm there, when I'm on the bus, and so on. We are worshiping the new machine, which is the internet. Within 40 years, we've created a new world. What other era has been created in just such a short time? And it's a scary world because we have mucked up big time. We have created a disaster, which is the internet. An infrastructure built for machines and protocols that was hacked together. You now have the opportunity to fix the problems that we've caused. What a great opportunity. But if you muck up, you're going to cause the most horrible machine ever created. So sorry. This whole presentation will be a bit of uplifting and a bit of downbeat. So hopefully we'll not become driven by this machine, spied on for every microsecond of our existence, harvested for every single behavioral by the fangs. Anybody know what fangs are and who they are? Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google. They are becoming more powerful than a whole nation. They will be the nation of the future. And if you don't disrupt that world, we're all stuffed. So hopefully this isn't the world that we're looking at here. We're looking at a much better world. And this here, that's a 10 megabyte hard disk that he's pointing to. 10 megabytes. You now have petabytes. I lose it after petabytes. I don't know where it goes. So I have to know sometime my Mac has a terabyte. And in 5 years' time, they go, terabyte, that's like a ZX Spectrum. It's no memory at all. Petabytes, you know, exabytes. That's what comes next. So that's what a computer, that in the 60s, that's what a computer looked like, and that was the hairstyles that they had. And they had little things that spun round and had lights. and so on. And that's what a computer program used to look like, punch cards. And we used to have washing machines that cost a lot of money that were actually computers. That's a deck. I think they were made in Livingston at one time. And does anybody know what that is? That's a mouse. That's the first mouse. It's wooden. And what's that? That's the first Apple computer, which is wooden. You had to varnish it rather than clean it from there. So we saw all this, and we've went from the Spectrum 1K and programmed on it, and it crashed after putting your program in. We've seen all that, and we've seen all the legacy. And you have the opportunity to not see that. You have the cloud. You can have the same resources as IBM in a second. You can have millions of virtual machines and lots of data in an instance, and it costs you $10 for an hour, and you can rip it up. That's the opportunity that you have. There is no barrier to this new world. And Google themselves saying, well, you might think our smart car's good and all our good analytics. We know that the future is machine learning. And can anybody see the problem with this? I was watching this live. It was a news report from him. Anybody see the problem? What? Okay. Okay, winter 14, not predictable, is it, from a weatherman to have that kind of password? And just in the background, just that happened with the BBC, when the first BBC hack happened on Tomorrow's World. They put up the CFAX number, and all these hackers were putting abusive messages on Tomorrow's World. Lots of these people were logging into the weather systems with winter 14 as a password. So it's a kind of changing world that we're in, and I would never do that. Oh dear, that's not right. Okay, I'll just remove that there. I would never go on the media and give away my password, so I'll have to get rid of that one. And this isn't nothing to do with security, but I just quite like this. But I thought I was getting this, and you're giving me this. It kind of typifies the modern age that you have to say not actual size from there. And this is the world that we're in. We're in a GDPR world. We have as much rights to our own data as anyone else, and it's about time that happened. We have 72 hours to respond as a company to an incident, and we can't just dwell and all that kind of thing. I'm a crypto professor. The best introduction I ever got was, here's a crypto professor. I go, where? Oh, it's me. That's great, because I love the area. Encryption is going to be the core. Please, please, please encrypt data, citizen data. When your company, you go to work for Sky, encryption is the core. And pseudonymity, I can't even say the word. Who knows what it is? But we're moving to a world that we need to anonymize much more. And we need to move from pseudo-anonymization to full anonymization. So we're entering what could be a brave new world. And I think this kind of typifies this brave new world more than anything. As you go into a toilet, your face is scanned and recognized, and then your deposits are then matched to your face. So you could end up in the future that your GP could be calling you up saying, see that thing you had for your breakfast the other day? I think you should have some more Special K. So that's a world that is a surveillance world that's matching every little thing. You don't have to log in anymore. They know you. They know your face. You know your behavior. They know where you are. Google knows exactly where you are just now. So is it a brave new world, or is it Big Brother? I searched for Big Brother, and unfortunately, I only got that from there. So it's not that kind of Big Brother. When I did English at school, it was this Big Brother, hopefully. If she's going to come up, it's that Big Brother.
30 to 40 group, take your places, please. Right. Let's see which one of us can touch his toes. Right over from the hips, brothers and sisters, please. 1, 2.
And that's Big Brother by George Orwell, screening the TV, watching you all the time, controlling you. Fake news, controlling the media. It kind of sounds like our current world, doesn't it? So the machine is rising, and we knew we were in trouble when we thought we were really good at chess. because we're good at strategy, and they beat us. You go, that's a problem here, because we think we're quite good at that kind of strategy. You're fast. And then they beat us at Jeopardy. This is the IBM computer. You're not seeing the whole rack-mounted systems in the background, because it'd be too noisy for that to happen. So they've just got a little graphic there. Jeopardy is giving you the answer, and you've got to work out the question. And Deep Blue beat the humans on that. That's Deep Blue there. That's what it looks like. And that was the thing there. And now it's happening that it can learn how to diagnose cancer better than a cancer specialist who's went to med school and all these kind of things. So I think, as Gillian highlighted earlier, this isn't going to be an us versus them, hopefully. This is going to be us working with machines to help our work so that we make better decisions. Our jobs are going to get higher up, and we're going to have to solve a lot more puzzles in the future. So in terms of machine learning, we've generally moved through, and this is where machines are actually starting to replicate human thought, human ideas. Can we get a computer to drive through Edinburgh? They can maybe drive on a motorway, a freeway in America. Can we make them drive through small estates with kids running out and so on? I can't see that really happening anytime soon. But more and more, they're moving up to the very highest reaches where even machines could battle against each other. So we wouldn't actually have to go to war with our traditional weapons. We could get our computers to fight against each other. So it's a changing world, and we are different, and we need to know that we are different. We are adaptable. Machines aren't quite there yet. So face recognition is one area that's really happening. So the way it does it, basically, is that it looks at your face, tries to put it straight on, and then it measures all the things around your face. When you log into your iPhone, basically that's what's happening. And it does it quite subtly. It looks horrible, but basically your iPhone looks like that. It fires lots of dots at your face through infrared that you don't actually see, and draws a 3D map of your face. It measures the length of your eyes and the length of your nose and so on. And it pretty much gets it right. There's Apple demonstrating that same method. So let's look at my face. So hopefully this is going to work. Don't you just love giving practical demonstrations? From there, if I can just remember where my little terminal is. Okay, so what I've done here is I've trained a model to recognize my face. So there's a little bit Python. I highly recommend Python. It's amazing language. It's not the most obvious, but we can see here, wow, that looks like a Kraftwerk type thing there. That's got wow, look at that. So what it's actually doing here is it's recognizing that I've got a face, which is really good. Well done. But then what it's actually doing is it's actually finding all the curve points, all the places in my face that are actually important. We then use that to be able to train a machine learning model. I'm not going to say AI, because AI has been around since the 1950s and so on. I'm going to say machine learning, because it's a machine learning to do what we do really easily. So you recognize my face now. A machine is quite a challenge to actually do that. So Control-C. So if there's one thing that you should know, Control-C. There you go. Control-C, the most wonderful character on the keyboard. So I've trained this machine. Hopefully it's going to work for me. I've got a file called Pickle there, and I've trained the machine on my face. I promise that I gave it photographs from 20 or 30 years ago. I'm not joking here. I gave it old photographs that were really not good, and I didn't train it on my face today. Probably I would scare it too much, so that's another thing. But if I see if this is going to work. Okay, so it's going to read in and hopefully please recognize. There. Oh, look at that. Oh, not Bill. Look, that one behind me there is actually, oh no, it's recognized them. So it's actually recognizing my face actually in an image. And I can even hold up my mobile phone with a little photograph of me and actually recognize me. See how it's managing to trace me along. So Eamon, could you come over here just now? Just to prove that it's not just putting, could you go on your knees, please? Knees. Are your knees okay?
Yeah.
Right then.
Bill Buchanan, Eamon Keane on our knees. That's
right.
good.
Okay. There you go. See, look. It's recognized my face, but not Eamon's. I'm going to train on Eamon's later. So that shows you, and isn't that scary? My cat, I can use a cat filter. It recognizes a cat face and so on. We can get dog filters. It doesn't matter. Every object has got a certain trace to it. Okay, so when I did it in the lab, you can see there, even if I hold my mobile phone up to the phone, then it's actually recognizing my face with inside that image. And the cloud is becoming more and more powerful in the way you don't process that much anymore on a local machine. You use what's called a cognitive engine. So in this case, let's look at using the cognitive. If my network connection is working here, so let's go for Nicola Sturgeon. There, that's fine. So we can see here it's detected Nicola's face and her eyes and so on. And I can even apply a cat filter. So this is my cat. And hopefully it detects, oh, it's not done it. It will normally detect a cat because we apply a filter. And there's my cat there. No, it's not picking up, which is unfortunate. But we can recognize faces quite easy. And it goes into much more depth. So if we take, let's say we take, don't we just love David Cameron? So we'll take David Cameron's face, and there he's there. Okay, and I've sent that up to the cloud, and here is what I'm getting back. Okay, so this is went up to the cloud. It gives me hair color, brown, confidence 1. It gives me if he's got a moustache, whether he's bald, and so on. And it gives me an age of 42. So try it on the cognitive engine. It's usually pretty good at getting ages. It's obviously looking for things. But you can see here, it's given me happiness. And the cognitive cloud can now tell you your emotions probably better than we can. It can also recognize it's trained on images. In this case, it's trained on Roger Waters. I upload Roger Waters, and it's got a 0.99 score that is Roger Waters. And it's not just faces. We can put up graphics, and it can scan the graphics and give us back the text for it. And one time you used to have to use Adobe Reader and Scanner and so on. But now the cloud can do that. Where the challenge is sentiment analysis. And machines aren't very good at a thing called sarcasm. They can't really interpret humans that well. Say, why don't you tell the truth rather than being horrible? So a key challenge is to be able to look at online social media and understand sentiment. So your face can be mine. So this, I put my face into the cognitive engine, and you can see I'm very, very, very happy there. Score of 0.9. And then we look at him. He has about the most neutral face that you could ever imagine there. So he gets a good score there for neutral. So that's what you call a neutral look in there. Let's try another one, and let's see what we get. Oh dear, there's a lot of anger going on there, a little bit of sadness, a little bit of other things in there, a little bit of surprise, which is surprising. So the cognitive engine, if you try it on a cartoon character, it doesn't work, so that's good. So I try to recognize that phase. And there's one that was very much a little bit of sadness with Richard Nixon. So more and more, we can mine within real time. So this is a child. This is done in real time, the video, and it's picking up. And we see here the child drops happiness for a while, and the cloud can actually pick that up in real time. So none of this processing and get it all processed and so on. The cloud has managed to pick up that child's emotion. And we can match. We can take pictures. So Nicola Sturgeon, hopefully is Nicola Sturgeon. And I did a little test to see Nicola Sturgeon and Theresa May. And my goodness, there's a bit of a similarity in there. 0.356. Have you ever seen Nicola Sturgeon and Theresa May together in the same place? I'll leave that with you. So this is what's happening in China. And the Chinese are looking to use this in the classroom. Tony, I hate to scare you, but this automatically watches the kids as they come in, recognizes them, registers them, and then watches them in the class for their learning and their emotions. To me, this is the ultimate Big Brother society. If this ever comes to Scotland, then I'll leave. And hopefully we would always respect the privacy of all our citizens. So in Space Oddity 1984, the spaceship decided to take over because the humans were making mistakes and decided that Dave needed to be killed and didn't allow Dave back in through the pod bay doors. He got in some other place. He was more intelligent than humans, so why should he let them take the decisions? And we see in AI the usage of smart teddies. And then, in Red Dwarf,
Look, I don't want any toast, and he doesn't want any toast. In fact, no one around here wants any toast. Not now, not ever. No toast. How about a muffin? Or muffins. We don't like muffins round here. We want no muffins, no toast, no tea cakes, no buns, baps, baguettes or bagels, no croissants, no crumpets, no pancakes, no potato cakes, and no hot cross buns, and definitely no Smeggan flapjacks.
okay, so that's coming to a kitchen near you. It's a talkie toaster. You can get a talkie microwave. I don't understand. You do have to get up and put things in the microwave, so I don't know why you would want to use that. Talkie toaster was back recently, taking over the ship. But we're now seeing the internet computers in our home environment, and it's all becoming a lot more scary. So I usually bring along these pets with me. I hope I never get stopped at an airport security, because my bag will be full of toys and kettles and stuff like that. So this is Clyde Pets, they're fantastic. The parent can talk to their phone. It sends a message to the Clyde Pet. His little heart beats. The child presses one of the buttons. You get the message. The child presses the other button, and the message goes back to the parents. Wonderful, fantastic. Unfortunately, somebody in the toy-making company actually decided to leave 2 million conversations between children and their parents on the internet, on the clouds. And also, the connection, the Bluetooth connection with a little Python script takes about a few seconds to connect to the pet, and you can make the pet say whatever you want. This card here, scribbled on the dashboard, is the API key for the car. If you have a Nissan car, you can leave now if you want, please. Somebody decided to put the API key to get access to everything about the car and scratched it on the windscreen for everybody to see. And I love this one. I demoed this one live. This is the Cloud Pet feeder. Unfortunately, the warning is here, is if you go on holiday and say hello to Fido, then your cat could be saying, for goodness sake, Mummy, I'm starving. The thing's not feeding me, because the internet connection, if it goes, your cat will actually starve. This is my cat. It's not live, by the way, with his cat feeder. And he loves the cat feeder. The good thing is that you can see me in the background there. So there's me there. And that's good, because a robber knows that I'm in just now, because someone decided to broadcast to the whole world. This application that runs with this cat feeder just broadcasts UDP packets to the world. And I can pick it up, but everybody who knows my IP address can actually pick up my video feed too. And so how did that happen? We had to be easy to get it set up because some people just don't know how to set up the internet connections with IP addresses and MAC addresses and all that kind of thing. So that's the word we're looking at, and we used to give demos with Kayla, and she was on sale in the UK. We tried to get a petition for her to be banned, but that didn't happen. But TGI Fridays in Hull was a petition that went ahead, so that shows our priorities. So we eventually she went to Germany, and the advice was don't take her to the dump, build a bonfire, put her on top, and burn her. Honestly, that's the advice. She is such a horrible doll with such security problems. Connecting to her is about as easy as pie. So I have a kettle, and just imagine you're on the way home on the bus, and I'm dying for a coffee. You pull out your mobile phone, you boil your kettle. The time you get to your kettle, the fire engine is there, and your house is burning down. You go, what happened? Some joker left the kettle on, and you hide your mobile phone. That's terrible. So we have one of these, and this is mine here. I don't know if you can see this. Okay, how sad am I to ping a kettle? So I'm pinging my kettle here. How good is that? My kettle is running Linux as a little operating system. I then run Nmap. Nmap, that's what Eamon said earlier. And for goodness sake, it's running Telnet, and it's running a web service. What? Telnet to me is a backdoor into my kettle from anywhere I want. So I log into my kettle, and I log in, and there we go. I get there, I get a few commands, and I can make the buttons go on and off, and I can make it boil the kettle, and so on, just with these little commands. Look a bit like modems from the past. And then, because I'm so good, I telnet into it and say, hello, kettle. And then I set up a web server for my kettle. That's how good I am. There you go, setting up a web server, and my kettle has its own website. Get there eventually, and my kettle is now a web server. And you say, surely nobody puts the kettle online? Well, they do. Forget Google. Google's, that's nothing. Shodan is where it is. Shodan knows every single device that's here and every device that's in the world. It goes and scans it and so on. So at the current time, there are 3 kettles online. For some reason, Sweden seems to be a place for online kettles. It's maybe a Swedish thing. And there is a kettle there. There's its IP address, and it's 100 degrees centigrade in there. And what else can we find with Shodan? Well, basically, there are 175,000 HP printer queues just waiting to be connected to without any authorization. And in fact, there are 30,000 HP printers live on the internet just now, just waiting to be connected to and for messages to be sent to them. So we're living in a different world, and we're living in a world which is changing and evolving. So I'd like you to all get your phones out. The changed days when we used to say phones away. So let's have a bit of fun, hopefully, if this is going to work. If this is a disaster, then I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, so go to menti.com, put in 225407, please. Okay, web browser, menti.com. It's all anonymized. I promise I'm not harvesting your data, but I could if I wanted. I might do it, but I won't. Okay, so come on, some more cats. Let's have some more cats. Come on. We've got one person connecting. I know the Wi-Fi is probably not great. That's great. Let's have a little heart there. Just one heart. There you go. Yeah. Come on. Notice I missed off the thumbs down for obvious reasons. Okay. Oh, we've got a lot of love there. A lot of love. Bit of cats. Bit of thumbs up. And a few people with a question. Okay, we're all ready to go. Not harvesting any of your data at all, I promise. Or I could do. Right then, so just give me an idea. I reckon 2/3 of you are Android and 1/3 are iPhone, I think. Usually, iPhones are iPhones are here, and the Android at the back, and the Nokia there in the tea room. Ha! Oh, we've got a BlackBerry. Oh, very poor. Come on, come up. Who's the BlackBerry user? Who is that? Who? You got a suit on and a tie, and you're an executive, and you've got 3 phones in your pocket. You pull them out. I need to talk to my wife, and I'm talking to my business consultant. Sorry, wrong phone. Okay. Oh, wow. Do we have a well-off crowd here? God's sake. So, go on. Give 1 vote to Windows. Okay, we've got a kind of split here. I reckon at the front, all iPhones. At the back, all Android. That's, oh, there we go. Oh, yay! Who wants to admit it? Nobody. Oh, the Androids. They take a while, the Android users, because they're trying to hack the system. The iPhones are there, okay? Oh dear, we got to. Come on. I know it takes you a while to boot the machine up and get logged in to Windows 10 and all that kind of thing. But, yeah, we've still got a few people coming through there. That's fine. Got 133 people logged in. Okay, I'm not harvesting your password. In the past, have you selected your favorite football team, your pet, name of someone in your family? Get me in, and so on. Ha ha ha. Tiddles, Snookums, Rex. I can just feel, if we went to Facebook, could we see that? Favorite football team, 13. Hearts, Celtic, Hibs, so on. But across the board, quite a demographic there, but we're really pet lovers, aren't we, in this audience? I think we love our pets, and this is typically very typical, especially parents giving the names of their children from there. And you've got to wonder, because things like Hashcat kind of knows these things and doesn't go for brute force. It kind of picks all the football teams. What's the most popular password in the world after 1, 2, 3? Most popular football team for passwords? Who is it? No? Liverpool. Liverpool 1, 2, 3, most popular password of all. Okay? Right then. I'm going to make a prediction here. I think you put your uppercase at start at the start of it. Who puts it at the end? We all blindly follow, most of us, if asked to put an uppercase letter, we put it at the start. Hashcat knows that. It only has to make the first letter an uppercase, and it can find your password. And some people put them randomly. Good on them. They obviously have good memories for that. Now, how many passwords does your main password have? I have 2 passwords, roughly, and I alternate between them. Roughly, how many? Wow, that's really impressive. The human brain struggles to remember anything more than 10. And we have basic little rules. So who's got a 6-character password here? You do know that your watch could crack that in a second. Your fridge could crack 7. A GPU sits here. This costs 1 hour on Amazon with a GPU cluster, 10 characters, finished. So anything 10 characters and below is gone. And every single year, GPUs get better. You might use your PlayStation GPU to play games. Most of the industry is using it to crack passwords and crack crypto. So we have a great audience here, and this is the future, because many of you have characters more than 11, which is excellent. And asked to put a number, I think you're going to say that you're going to put the number at the end. I may be wrong. Oh, someone puts it at the start. That's good. Someone in the middle is great. But most of us put it at the end. Hashcat knows that. It takes Liverpool and it does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't do 1 Liverpool and so on. It knows that exactly. So we're all little sheep when it comes to these things. And how many uppercase letters do you have in your password when asked to put an uppercase? I reckon you'll say just one. And that's the case. So Hashcat just has to take all the most popular names of pets and so on and stick the uppercase letter at the very start and stick a number at the end and keep going at the end. Passwords are finished as a method to authenticate. Right then, don't swear, don't use any colloquial names and so on. Give yourself a little acronym from there, and we'll see if we can see who can win a little test. There's no prize. Hopefully there is a t-shirt, another t-shirt for you. Okay? Are we all there? Now to start the quiz. The quicker you are, the more points you get. You've got to get it right. Of course, I haven't said anything to do with these things. It's purely general knowledge. It's just a bit of fun. Okay, so here we go. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? I did mention the program a little bit. Is that Kayla, Terminator, Rimmer, or Crichton? Okay, you all voted. Crichton is the correct answer. Well done. Who said Kayla? Who said Kayla? It's definitely not Terminator. Right, okay. Okay, so who's that? What lovely, adorable little pet that's now, toy that's now banned in the UK. What is that? Cloud pets, cuddly pets, network pets, or my pet friend? Who is that? Cloud pets. At least 50 people were listening to me. Well done. That's really good. And cuddly pets, network pets. I could see where you came from in there. Okay? And who is that? Who is that? Look at your phone. What's that robot? He appeared at the very start of the presentation. Is that Gort, the Iron Giant, Bicentennial Man, or Robocop? You've got to know your sci-fi to get this one right. Ho-ho! That's not Robocop. Robocop looks kind of human. That's Gort. Go and watch some classic sci-fi. You'll get a great education. Okay, it was on the TV. It's on the TV virtually every night. If you watch the TV, it's on wherever. What's the name of that robot? Is it Robocop, Marvin, Bicentennial Man, or Gigolo Joe? He's a robot, an AI. Watch it. It's a fantastic film. Ho-ho! That's not Marvin. That's not Marvin. For goodness sake, go and watch Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. If I leave one thing to the students in the audience, go and watch Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Go and read the book and so on. That's not Marvin. That's Gigolo Joe. So well done if you got that one correct. Okay, and you've got to be really geeky to get this one. Who's that? What series of robot is that? No looking up the internet? T850, T3000, T5000, or T2020. If you get this, you're pretty sad. I know that. I got it. So, who's got that one? Go on. I don't think you're going to get this one. It's like the millionaire question that you've got. Oh, that was, wow. Oh. Well done. Well done. God, you're so geeky. That looks like a normal distribution, by the way. I think you're guessing if you ask me. Right then, so let's see who's top. Boaty McBoatface did pretty well, but Super Ali, who's Super Ali? Oh, come on. Because it was a member of staff here, and he was looking at my slides earlier, so we're not going to give it to him. Who's Joe Mama? Who's Joe Mama? Joe Mama? Stick your hand up, Joe. Joe? No Joe? Who's, I can't see that. Who's St. Elmo? No? Can anybody see any of your names up there? Right, okay, t-shirt here, that's fine. Oh, God. This looks like a big setup, if you ask me. Okay, so you're lucky enough to be born and live in the most beautiful country in the whole of the planet. There is no country in the world that even comes near Scotland in terms of its beauty. You're lucky enough, and I'm lucky enough to live in Edinburgh. You are in the area of one of the most educated area in the whole of the world. There are more graduates in Edinburgh as there are in any other place as a percentage in the whole of the UK. Education is in our DNA and is so important. I started as an apprentice electrician. I'm a professor now. As Tony outlined earlier, don't ever stop your learning and continue and really to fix the problems that we've caused. Thank you.
Well, I think that was absolutely fabulous. Unfortunately, we don't have any time for questions, but I think, Bill, are you going to be around for a bit longer? Are you having to go? Oh, well, we don't have any time for questions, but what I would encourage you to do, follow Bill on Twitter or LinkedIn, because he will get back to you if you ask him any questions, and I'm pretty confident that he will. And I'm sure that over the course of the year, on some of our courses in the college, I'm sure that you might get a chance to visit Napier, or Bill might come back and speak to you more about what he's been talking about today. So thank you very much. I'm just going to wrap up now by saying a few thank yous to people for making this a really great event. Of course, the first people I'd want to thank are our fantastic speakers. Gillian started the day painting an optimistic vision of the future, and Bill's ended it by tempering what we need to do to make sure that we all benefit from that society. And in between, we had great presentations from Tony and Ronnie and Eamon about various aspects of working in technology. So can you please join me in thanking all our wonderful speakers today? I won't read all of these out, but a big thank you to those that are running the workshops this afternoon. So you've all signed up for 3 workshops this afternoon. So again, thank you very much to all those that are running the workshops. And a big thank you to those next door who are actually setting up the exhibition that you'll be able to benefit from as you have your lunch when you go and pick it up shortly. Thanks again to our sponsors and also to our interrupters. This conference is the first time we've done this. And it's really important we get some feedback from you about how we can do it again next year. So I'd like you to think about what you enjoyed about today, including the workshops and the exhibition and this morning, and let us know what we can do to make it better for next year. But thank you to the team that pulled the conference together. The names are up there, our own interrupters, and also our computing team. So those of you that are on computing courses, sitting down the front here. So computing lecturers, technicians and managers who are critical to your learning. And a big thank you again to our helpers, our HNC event students, our HNC media and comm students, and all the staff that have been supporting them today, to the college's catering team for providing the lunch, which you'll get next door at the exhibition, to the IT team, and also to the facilities team for getting the event all set up. So finally, this isn't the end of what we want to do to get you access to some really exciting speakers. On the 8th of October, we'll have a guest lecture on the theme of women in computing, because that's Ada Lovelace's day. On that day, she's somebody who was instrumental in programming way back. In February next year, there's Cyber Scotland Week, and we're going to run an event through that week, and again involve students and other people in that. And we're planning to hopefully register for something for Gillian's Data Fest in March. And finally, this is Interrupt19. We plan to have Interrupt 20, 21, 22. Keep going every year, make it bigger. I don't know how much we can make it better than this year, but we'll do our very best. So please join us at this same time next year. And for now, thank you for turning up. Thank you for paying attention. Please enjoy your lunch and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.